What is up, internet? It's Sunny again. Man, it has been such a long time since I have uploaded. Here is a brief explanation on why that is. I have depression. Alright, welcome back, guys. Before we get started, I have a podcast. Sister to Sister podcast with my sister JT. I encourage you all to watch it. It's every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, the only time that matters. But yeah, it's with my sister. I love her so much. We are very conservative. If you would like to be a guest on the Sister to Sister podcast, please at me or DM me on Twitter. Yeah, so not just anyone, you know, unless you're like my friend from like in real life. You have to have some type of following, some type of YouTube channel. I can plug it for you or whatever. So yeah, let me know, and or even comment on this video if you'd like to be a guest on it. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let's get on with the video. Something went up my nose. I don't know what it was. In the news recently, James Gunn has been trending. If you don't know, or if you've been living under a rock, James Gunn is the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. Absolute favorite movies of mine. I absolutely enjoyed those movies, especially the soundtrack. Man, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was like, I listened to that on repeat for a long time. So anyways, the director recently got fired for some tweets a long time ago that were pretty heavy on the pedophilia. Yes, it is true. He had some tweets. Apparently it was more than 10,000 tweets. I don't know, but it was definitely more than 1,000 tweets that just did not look good. You know, like if you knew that he was tweeting these things and you had children, oh yeah, you wouldn't let your children around him. That's just my opinion. I've seen some of the tweets, okay? They're not good. Absolutely awful tweets, okay? And it's not just, you know, a joke here and there, because a lot of people were complaining about people like Michael Ian Black, Sarah Silverman, Patton Oswalt, with their tweets that are pro-pedophilia. They're comedians. I can understand a joke here and there, you know, like the occasional rape joke. Rape is not funny. But you can, if you're a good comedian, you can make a situation like that funny, even though it's not a funny thing, if that makes sense, okay? So those are comedians. They're known for their bad attempts at comedy, and, you know, their tweets about pedophilia might be one of them. You know, basically they were bad tweets, but I don't blame them for that. They're comedians, and they can try to be funny if they want to. But James Gunn, as far as I know, doesn't claim to be a comedian, doesn't present himself to be a comedian at all. I've never seen him do a stand-up comedy special. If I'm wrong, let me know down below, but it's, you know, he's not a comedian, he's a director, okay? So the reason why I bring up James Gunn is because the same thing happened not that long ago. Do you guys remember this catty Greek Jewish British guy named Milo Yiannopoulos? He would tour the country, going to college campuses, owning the liberals and the feminists and things. It was a great time during the meme war of 2016. We would watch him, you know, peruse the streets and the auditoriums of college campuses, looking for someone to pounce and just like own them with facts and logic. It was great. Milo Yiannopoulos was absolutely one of my favorite people in 2016 when the election was going on. I would sit for hours and hours on end watching owned compilations and rec feminist videos and SJW Central, all of my favorite YouTube channels at the time whenever I got into YouTube. But he's kind of fallen off ever since. He was on like the Joe Rogan podcast, or either, I think it was both. It was the Joe Rogan podcast and also the Drunken Peasants. He was on both of those podcasts, and he talked about his own experiences as a young child with a priest, and he was a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, whatever it is. and he was making light of it. Now, I'm not the type of person to do that. Like, if in some situations I do, when it comes to like maybe a tragedy, an illness, or a death, I will use humor, and it's very inappropriate, it's very facetious, and I don't mean to. That's just how I cope. But when it comes to sexual abuse, I don't tend to do that. But, you know, everyone is different. But with Milo Yiannopoulos, he was talking about his own experiences and how, you know, he was a victim of sexual abuse when he was a child. And the left came for Milo. He really hasn't really bounced back ever since then. Like, he made his own publishing company, his own media company, Dangerous. And when you go to the website, it's like locked. You can go to dangerous.com/join, of course, if you want to join his little thing. But I guess maybe the website is only open to members. You can only go there if you pay for the monthly fee. I don't know. It's weird. And he wrote some books. A book is coming out with Laura Loomer about Las Vegas. Milo has gone off the deep end. But anyways, so the left came for Milo in the worst way. He had to resign from Breitbart. He had to basically take a sabbatical because of the backlash that he got for basically being a victim of sexual assault. And I get that, you know, people don't mess around when it comes to people's children because they are innocent. They are blameless. They don't do anything wrong. They're just children. When you talk about your own experiences, Milo was a victim of sexual assault. And then you have James Gunn, who has really, really questionable tweets. Like, I'm not saying that James Gunn is a pedophile. There's no evidence to support that. But these tweets, like, if I knew James Gunn and I see these multiple tweets in 2009, like multiple tweets of all this pedophilia stuff. And it's not like, I guess you could call them jokes. I guess you can. But if I see those and I got some children, he is not coming anywhere near me. And I would even go as far to say that I would report those tweets. And I don't even report tweets. Like, seriously. Like, I'm like, this dude got something wrong with him. I'm gonna report these tweets. This worries me. It was bad. These tweets were bad. Okay. Now a lot of people are saying, oh, this is you know, you're infringing on his free speech. Blah 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 blah. I mean, that very may well be true. You're punishing him for speech that happened, but as they say, your speech is not free from consequence. You are free to say what you want, but if people don't like it, they will come for you. And what's amazing to me, you know, the left is so, you know, the upstanding citizen and the, you know, the all authoritative on morality ever. But they are defending Mr. Gunn, you know, and I literally thought that they were going to come for James Gunn too, but they're not. And that's the most confusing part for me. They're so hypocritical. They literally tried to ruin Milo Yiannopoulos' career. He's bouncing back somewhat, and I'm sure that I don't know if James Gunn will recover from this, honestly, but they did it to Milo Yiannopoulos. James Gunn is much more successful, granted, and he's losing a lot more because of this. It's literally the same thing. The left saw Milo Yiannopoulos becoming popular, becoming the new face of this new right movement, and that we were gaining ground, we were gaining support, and we were red pilling people, for lack of a better term. And they, you know, whenever you have someone being successful, you just throw an accusation at them with little evidence, and it usually ends up working. And they did it, and they've done this before. They always do it. Anytime they are losing, they will throw out rapist, or they will throw out pedophile, or they will throw out now the new one is doxer, or whatever. It doesn't matter. They did it, and they were successful. And one guy, Mike Cernovich, one guy brought up these tweets, brought attention to it. James Gunn gets fired. the left loses their minds, like literally loses their minds. I don't get that. I don't get that. Wouldn't you be like, oh, Mike Cernovich, you know what? You're on the right, but you know, we thank you for bringing this to our attention because, you know, these tweets are really bad. But no, they're like, no, the alt-right Nazis came for James Gunn. We can't stand for this. The alt-right trolls. Oh my god. Not everyone is an alt-right troll. Not everyone on the right is alt-right. The alt-right is so small in numbers. I don't know why you bring them up as much as you do. The biggest like gathering, like literally all the alt-right trolls gathered in Charlottesville. Remember that? That was it. That was all the alt-right people ever in the world. I guarantee you. Who do you think was worse? Was it Mali Yiannopoulos and his comments about the pedophilia, or was it James Gunn and his tweets? Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you join the sisterhood by subscribing to my YouTube channel and turning on the bell for the notifications, because you never know when I'm going to upload next. So I do thank you for your patience. I'm not going to dwell on my depression anymore. I mean, I can't make any promises. Depression is very hard to deal with, but I think I'm making strides to get better. So thank you again for sticking with me and staying subscribed to my channel. I lost a lot of subscribers as well. Don't throw a pity party. That's it. Have a great day, guys. I'll go do the same. Bye. Love you.